Morning. I'll just give it a few moments for people to arrive this morning, in case anybody is going to join us live for this class. It's just on 10 o'clock on Thursday, 2nd of July. Can you believe it? Middle of the year. I can't actually believe it's a week since last class. It just has flown by. Or maybe it has for you, maybe it hasn't. Maybe time is dragging or speeding by, I don't know. But certainly this last week seems to have really flown by for me. But if you're joining us live for this class, then just say a little hello if you'd like to. Let me know you're here. And if you're joining me on the catch-up, then welcome to you too. I hope that you've had a good week. And we're going to be doing a very gentle seated yoga class this morning. If you're just joining me, I was just commenting on how incredible it seems that we are in the middle of the year already, and how fast this last week has gone. I can't believe it's been a week since our last class. But anyway, I'm just wondering, hello Mary, nice to have you joining. Hi Justina, really good to have you. I do miss everybody, I miss being with people. Yeah, things seem to be moving in the right direction, so that's good news, isn't it? And this morning we are going to come together anyway. And morning Francis, it's lovely to have you joining me this morning. And if people are joining this on a catch-up, I would love for you to feel as connected to us who are practicing with each other right now in the here and now as we do. So it's hard possibly to feel connected when we're like this. We have our little screen in front of us, or whatever you are watching this on. But a couple of points in the class this morning, we'd just like to take a moment just to feel connected with each other. It's been quite a tough time, hasn't it, for some of us, not feeling connected with others perhaps, and feeling perhaps quite isolated in our own homes. But I would love for us to use this practice this morning in particular as a way to really feel connected with each other. So we can try and find some stillness through our practice, and just perhaps come into a place inside of ourselves where we can almost sense that other people are practicing with us. So a special good morning to you all, whether you're with me right now at 10 o'clock on Thursday morning, or whether you are practicing kind of through the week or later on at some point in the future. So all you need for this practice is just to be wearing fairly comfortable clothes that you can stretch in, but we're going to be doing the practice seated on a chair. So if you have a chair, preferably without arms, that you be able to move in, one that you can sit upright and comfortably in, then that's perfect. That's all you need. If, like me, you sit on your chair and your feet don't quite reach the ground, then take just a moment to go and grab a really big book or something. I don't know, an atlas or something like that, that you can just put your feet flat on, and that becomes the ground for you then. So my chair's a pretty ordinary wooden chair, and I'm just going to sit on it, and I have a block here that I'm just going to put my feet on. And I don't have my socks on, but you can practice in socks if that's more comfortable for you, or you can be very daring and take your socks off this morning. And that just enables you to really feel the ground beneath your feet. If you have shoes or slippers on, and it's okay for you to take those off, then I would just encourage you to do that, so that yes, you can feel the ground beneath your feet. And who else do we have? Alicia. Good morning, Alicia. So the sense of connectedness through this practice this morning. Maybe I'm aiming really high with this, because actually we're all completely by ourselves, or just with our own families. But as you sit in your chair, just try and make sure there's maybe a little distance between your back and the back of the chair, so that you can sit fairly upright, and we'll come into a slightly more still place. So begin to feel that sense of stillness and calming through the body. And then this will, promise you, transfer to your mind. And we'll just, hopefully through this practice, feel a little calmer, a little more connected with each other. And also the benefits of having a good stretch through our body. So the stretching, that movement, that's going to deal with all that excess energy that we have in our body. It's going to be really good for our whole lymphatic system, our blood pressure, our limbs, our muscles, our joints, all good stuff. So yeah, feel the ground beneath your feet there. If you've taken your shoes off or even your socks, just press lightly into the ground with the soles of your feet and feel that connectedness with the ground. Think about that connection that your feet are making with the ground. And this morning, we normally start by breathing with our hands in our lap, but just bring your hands down beside you for the moment. Roll up your shoulders, sit up straight, and then roll them down your back. Release the tension in your shoulders and have your arms fairly relaxed, but palms face forward just for a moment. And this sort of open-hearted gesture. This is our seated mountain pose. So we're sitting up straight, the crown of our head is lifting up towards the ceiling, the sky. If it's comfortable for you to close your eyes, then you might like to do that. But if not, just look down at the ground in front of you. Maybe drop your chin ever so slightly towards your chest. If you'd prefer to have your hands in your lap, then feel free to do that. There are lots of choices that you can make through this class, responding to your individual body's needs and doing what you feel is best for your body, what you need in this moment. Begin to notice your breath. Notice if it feels quite shallow, just perhaps breathing up here around the chest and the collarbone. Or maybe you're able to relax your tummy. And then you might feel a sense of expansion in the belly, arising and falling as you breathe. Know that as you sit here alone, perhaps with your eyes closed, in the quiet space of your own home, there are several of us, maybe many of us, that will practice together either right now or through this week. And so as a community, we are connected to each other, and through this practice, so just say in your mind, it might feel a little odd, but just say a hello to everybody in your mind as I've been greeting people as they've been messaging me to say they're joining. And just let's all welcome each other to this yoga practice. So yes, we're looking inward, we're looking at our own practice, our own body, but also perhaps just for this morning we're just going to feel that sense of connectedness to each other in this little community. Take a couple of deeper breaths, maybe bring your hands back to your lap so your arms don't tire. A few deeper breaths. If it's comfortable for you to breathe in and out through your nose, then just do that, keeping that energy within you. Feeling a sense of release of tension as you breathe out with every exhale. A release of tension through the shoulders, the belly. As you breathe in, breathing in that sense of energy, that life force of your breath. And develop that slow, fairly deep, regular breath that's comfortable for you to carry through your practice. A nice regular breath that we can come back to as we're holding poses and stretching and moving through this practice today. Lovely. Next couple of breaths, raise your shoulders towards your ears on the inhale. As you breathe out, just let them come down. Really feel that release of tension as you let your shoulders go with that exhale. Lovely. Morning. Just take a few circles with the head now as well. Just keep breathing. No need to open your eyes if you have them closed. Just feeling into the neck. So make the circles quite small to begin with. Just a couple in one direction, then slow it down, and a couple back the other way. Notice if your neck and shoulders feel particularly tense this morning. So just go gently. We'll come back to the shoulders and neck a little later in the practice. This is just to ease out any niggles from our night sleep. If this is the morning practice for you, maybe you're watching this at some time in the future and it's an afternoon practice, but equally important just to move the neck there. Lovely. Come to just sitting up still and straight again. Really feeling that expansion in the belly and the chest as you breathe in. That release of tension as you breathe out. Lovely. And we're going to move through this practice as we normally do, from the feet upwards right through the body. So just pointing one foot out in front of you to begin with. Look down at that foot and begin to take some slow, controlled circles in one direction. Keep breathing as you do this. It's quite easy when you're concentrating on something to let go of that steady breath. But just keep reminding yourself to breathe. Sending all that oxygen that you're breathing in around the body and to that joint that's moving there. The muscles in your leg, your foot. You can involve your toes as well. Giving them a wiggle as you turn the ankle. Slow it down and then reverse that direction so that we're just going back in the other direction. Sitting up nice and straight if you can for this as well. But trying not to tense the shoulders or the jaw. Lovely. Release that foot and we'll do that on the other side. Take some slow circles. Those of you who were in the Thursday group when we were meeting in the church hall in Broom House may have taken home a sheet with you that I gave some of you of exercises to do. The exercises we're going to do today are mostly beyond that sheet. So if you can find it, it's a good thing to just keep practicing these through the week as well, when you're not even watching a class. Like, slow that down, let's go back in the other direction. Just some really simple seated exercises to do, connecting them to your breath. You know, if you have a spare half an hour and you're feeling particularly tense, just taking the time to do that can be really healthy. Lovely. Your body and your mind. Okay, let's place that leg down there. Take a big breath in and a sigh out. Lovely. And then sit a little further back in the chair so that your back is connecting to the back of the chair. but you'll need to slide your hips slightly forward because we need to free up the hip and the leg here. Pointing one leg out in ahead of you, quite straight away from you. Flex the foot up towards you. Notice where you feel that stretch. Point the toes away. Flex it up towards you. Point the toes away. Lovely. Then release that leg. We'll do the other side. Point the toes away. Flex them up towards you. Point away. Really point the toes. Flex and bend the feet, foot back and toes up towards you. Point once more. Flex. And then release that leg. Right, we're going to take the circles with our legs. So the first leg comes straight out. Begin to take some small circles in one direction. Quite nice to point the toes. Feels a bit like ballet when we're doing this. Seated in the chair. Warming up this hip joint. So begin also to draw these core muscles in, firming up the tummy. That is abdominal muscles, which will help protect your lower back as you do this. Lovely. Slow it down. We'll take 6 back the other way. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, one more. Well done. Release that leg. Big breath in. And a sigh out. Lovely. Next leg up. Just begin to warm up that muscle by taking really quite small circles in one direction. Firming up these abdominal muscles as you do that. Noticing the joint, the muscle that's moving. If it feels painful for you, then take a break or slow it down. Make any adjustments that you need, so that you don't go beyond discomfort into a place of pain. Right, slow it right down. Let's take 6 back in the other direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, one more, 1, and release that foot to the ground. Take a big breath in and a sigh out. Release all the tension, allowing those muscles to rest after you've put them through their paces like that. Gives them a chance to strengthen, restore. Lovely. Well done. Right, one more challenge for the core as well as the legs and the hips. Stretching out both legs, point the feet away from you. Let's bring arms up overhead. Coming into our boat pose here. Navasana, if you want the lovely Sanskrit word for that. Engage your core muscles here. So the abdominal muscles are really drawing back. Hold for 3 more breaths. Lovely. And release. Come to sitting up straight. Take a big breath in. Send the arms widen up. Look up as you do that towards your hands as they come together. Exhale to reach forward and round down over the legs. Release tension in the back of the body, the lower back, as you round down over your legs. Try and let your abdominal muscles now relax. As much as we just really engaged them and made them work quite hard, now we want to give them a rest and really breathe into the belly. Try and let your head and your neck relax as well. Some really nice big deep breaths, maybe sighing out for your breath out, your exhale. Lovely. And begin to walk your hands back up your legs. Come to sitting back up straight. Lovely. When we're here, we're going to draw that right knee in. So you need to be on the edge of your chair for this. Draw that right knee in, hug it in towards you. Take a couple of breaths here. Release that, hug the left knee in towards you. Give it a squeeze. Couple of deep breaths and then release it. We'll do that again on each side. 2 or 3 breaths. Lovely. And the left again. Release that. Just going back to the feet a little bit here, because we're the theme of our class today, if you like, is just this sense of connectedness. As much as I'd like us to feel connected as a community, even as we're practicing on our own, we're going to also have that sense of connectedness to the ground beneath us. So bring your attention to your feet, whether they're on your big book, your atlas, or your whatever you've got there, or the ground, the actual ground, and begin to raise through the toes, breathing in. As you breathe out, lower the heels and raise the toes from the ground. Inhale to come up on the toes, raising the heels. Breathe out, lower the heels, raise the toes, the front of your feet, flexing them up. Lovely. Notice where you feel that through your feet. Lovely. And then we're going to bring up this right leg, cross the ankle over the right thigh. If it helps you at this point to push the block or the book away so that your left leg, bent leg, is supporting leg, is flat on the ground, just gives you a bit more space for your hip, then do that. Keep a flex in this right foot here. And allow the knee just to drop out. It might feel quite upright for you, depending on how open this right hip is here. But sit up really nice and straight here. Feel the ground beneath that left foot connecting the sole of the foot to the ground. Big breath in with a really straight back. Imagine that you're folding from your hips, just keeping the natural line of your back as you lean forward here. Even just an inch, just a tiny bit. You'll notice that real stretch in the outside of that hip. So just keep looking down ahead of you here and keep breathing. Draw the core muscles in, the abdominal muscles, just supporting your lower back as well, protecting that. Try and relax through your lower body and your shoulders as you do this. So in yoga, when we hold these poses, we want that balance between putting the effort in, but also finding a steady ease with which to hold these poses. If that's painful for your hip, then just come out of that. Take a break, take a few breaths just sitting upright in the chair. Inhale yourself back upright. Release that leg really gently. That foot comes down to the ground. Left ankle comes up to cross over the right thigh. Again, just take a moment to adjust yourself so that you're reasonably comfortable. It may be really uncomfortable for you, this pose. If you have any hip issues, then maybe take a break from this actual pose or just enter into it really gently. And try and find that steady ease of relaxing the muscles in your shoulders, drawing in your core muscles. Sit yourself up straight. Inhale, and then as you exhale, a little lean forward. Doesn't have to be very far. If it even leaning forward, even an inch feels just too much, it's going to put too much pressure on the outside of that hip. Just come a bit further upright. And then a few slow, steady breaths. Keep a flex in that left foot too, just protecting the knee joint here. One more big breath in. And then release that. Lovely. Bring that sole of that foot to the ground. Toe, heel, legs out a little wider if you're able to. If not, feel free to have the legs closer together. Send the toes a little out to the side. We'll breathe in, send the arms widen up. Look up as we breathe out, reaching forward and rounding down over the wider, slightly wider legs. As we did before when our feet were together, just allow the abdominal muscles to relax, allow the head and the neck to be heavy. I'm going to take a couple of breaths here. Well done. Slowly inhale, walking the hands back up the legs. Uncurl the spine, coming to sit back up straight, but leave the legs wide. And then we'll take a few of these windscreen wipers. Just movements of the legs, just easing out any tension in the hips. Allowing each knee to drop down in turn. Lovely. If you've just joined us and you missed my sort of splurb at the beginning, then this practice today is really focusing on a sense of connectedness, and I'd love us to feel connected as a community. So if you've joined us in the last few moments, then welcome to you. We're trying to feel as connected as we can as a wee community practicing together, even though we are separate in our own homes today. So let's take a moment just to bring ourselves back to that sense of connectedness. Bring your feet back together, your block or your book back underneath your foot if you're using that. Sit up really nice and straight, as far forward on the edge of your chair as you can, and we'll come back into that Tadasana mountain pose. So shoulders up and back down the body, palms facing forward. A couple of deeper breaths here as we really feel that connectedness with the ground. Maybe closing down your eyes just for the next few breaths, lowering your chin just slightly to your chest if you have that unfocused gaze down at the ground instead of closing your eyes. Coming into a slightly more still place, a centre of calm, and just perhaps trying to feel that sense of connectedness with others who are practicing at the same time as us, or even tuning in later in the week and practicing. You can even say that little mental hello to everybody. Just feeling that sense of connectedness and community, even as separate as we may be physically. Really big breath in and a sigh out. And then bring hands back to the lap. We'll breathe in, send that right arm up to the ceiling and just stretch it away from you. Bring it down again. We'll breathe in, stretch the left arm up. Feel that length in the upper body down that left hand side. As you breathe out, release it down to the lap. We'll do that again on each side, stretching up. Exhale, bring it back down. Up. Exhale, back down. And this time cross that left arm over the lap. Inhale, right arm lifts. This time as you breathe out, we'll send it across the body a little, just further stretching out that right hand side. If it helps you to keep a bend in that arm, then do that. But otherwise, really feel that length down the whole side of this body that's stretched out here. As you take your next couple of breaths, imagine that it's travelling into those expanded ribs in the side body. Lovely. Inhale yourself back up to centre. We'll gently swap that over. Inhale again, stretch that arm up and away from you. Exhaling to lean across. Between each rib is an intercostal muscle, and that's where we're sending all that lovely oxygen that we're breathing in. So expanding that side body, giving our core muscles room to really strengthen around the whole of our body, not just at the front. Lovely. Inhale yourself back to the centre. Release that. Take a couple of shoulder shrugs. Lovely, then we're going to take a twist on each side. So again, sitting up nice and straight, breathe in to really find length in the spine. As we breathe out, turn the whole of this upper body to the right. Allow your hands just to come down and rest beside you. If you really enjoy this twist and want to make it a little deeper, you can take hold of the back of the chair with that outer arm. Use it to draw yourself around on your exhale. So inhale to find length in the spine, draw the core muscles in to give yourself space. As you exhale, maybe there's room to turn a little further. But this twist is coming from the middle of our spine. So that's our cervical spine in the middle. We've got our lumbar spine at the bottom, which if you're feeling pain in that, just come out of this twist a little. And then our thoracic spine right at the top there is really having a rest here. So we're not craning our neck around. Our head is in line with our body. One more breath in, and then as you breathe out, bring the arms slowly back through the center. Take a breath in the middle there just to steady the spine. Inhale again, and exhale, we'll turn to the other side. Walk the hands around. Maybe you're turning little bit by little bit here with every breath. So inhale, lengthen the spine. As we exhale, want to relax the shoulders, draw the tummy in, find a little bit more space to turn. Only one more breath in this twist. Big breath in. As you breathe out, come back through the center. Breath in the middle there just to steady the spine. And then breathe in, send the arms widen up, look up. Exhale, reaching forward, round down over the legs. Feel that release of tension in the back of the body. Release the head and the neck. And then slowly walking the hands back up the legs, come to sitting up straight. We'll do a few rounds of cat-cow movement, inviting more flexibility into the spine. So as we breathe in, you can open your arms or keep your hands in your lap. Open the chest, look up. Exhale, rounding out through the back. Tuck the tummy in, tuck the tailbone under and drop the chin to your chest. Inhale, opening up the front of the body. Exhale, rounding down. With every inhale, you're inviting just a gentle back bend here, arching the spine, and then as you exhale, you're reversing that. So we're inviting that flexibility of movement into our spine that is so important for our vertebrae, that can begin to fuse together if we don't keep moving like this. So go as deeply or as gently into this movement as feels right for your individual body. It may be that really your spine is going to flare up and feel very painful if you move it too much. So just taking very gentle movement and feeling into that. Close down your eyes maybe so that you can really bring your attention to your spine. Move slowly with your breath. Notice if there are any parts of your spine as you move like this that are particularly niggly. And just go gently there. Don't go into a place of pain. If you're enjoying this movement and you're not experiencing any pain at all, then maybe make it really as expansive as you can, rounding down as much as you can, and then really opening, inviting that back bend as you breathe in. Lovely. One more round. And then when you've finished your last rounding down, your exhale, we'll leave it there for a moment. Clasp the hands ahead of you. Make that space between the shoulder blades really big as you stretch your arms forward. Send a couple of breaths into that space between the shoulder blades. Lovely. And then release the hands, come to sitting up straight, bring them behind you, maybe take hold of the back of the chair. And open up the front chest. We'll take a couple of breaths here into this space, this open-hearted space between the collarbones this time. Look gently up ahead of you without overextending the neck. Feel the chest fill as you breathe in. Enjoy that feeling of expansion through the front of the body. As you breathe out, release the chair, come to just sitting up straight. Let's bring our hands together at heart center. Couple of breaths here, just sitting up nice and straight. Feel the crown of your head lifting upwards and your sit bones rooting down into the chair. So lightly pressing the palms together, have fingers spread wide and feel that sense of connectedness as well between the palms of your hands, maybe the joints of your fingers. Lovely. Now next inhale, we're going to raise our hands still together, looking up. Exhale to draw them back to heart center. The next time we lift up, we're going to open, keep the pinky and your thumb together, but open up the 3 middle fingers. So this is it looks a bit like a flower opening, a lotus flower. So imagine as you're breathing in, you're opening up that lotus flower and kind of just inviting in new energy with each inhale. Stretch up, open those 3 middle fingers, close them down as you bring them back to your heart center, breathing out. Inhale. Look up towards your hands, exhale, bring them back to heart center. Move with your breath here. So we might not all be moving in synchronization, our breath all at the same rate, but that's fine. If your arms begin to tire, we'll just take a couple more breaths. Breathing in and opening those 3 middle fingers as you breathe out, closing it back into the center. Breathe in. Breathing out, and rest your hands in your laps. Take a big breath in and a sigh out. Lovely. And then shoulders. Inhale, draw the shoulders up. Draw them back towards each other. As you exhale, release them down the back. A couple of those, one more. And then we'll reverse that direction. So if you like to do this as you bring your elbows together, just drawing your shoulder blades with that inhale together at the bottom. Inhale, draw them up the back and forward and down as you exhale. Lovely. Okay, release the hands into the lap. And we're going to bring fingertips. We'll all do this the same way today. So rather than the really big arm stretch, we'll bring our fingertips to our shoulders and take a slightly gentler version of this shoulder release here. So both elbows are coming together, making circles as you breathe. Inhale to bring them together and up. As you breathe out, back the way and down. So again here, feeling into your shoulders. When you're warming up this shoulder joint, you can make the circles quite small to begin with and then increase the size of them. notice if you feel very different one side to the other. One more, and then we'll go back the other way. So inhaling this time, shoulders move back, elbows back, and then exhaling forward and down. Inhale, elbows back and out, coming up. Exhaling forward and down, making these circles. Well done, one more. And release. Release the arms down by the side. Let's do that marching one. So you can begin almost marching if you like, and then we'll continue going in one direction. Bringing one arm up the back, one arm up the front, swapping over to go down. Trying to keep the torso as still as possible in your head. So notice if that wants to join in. Breathing in as the arms come up, out as they come down. If you're getting yourself in a fuddle with this, don't worry, just have a laugh, smile to yourself. Try again, or take a break. Lovely. This time we're going to swap the arms over, so just going back the other way. Inhale, as you exhale, feel that release of tension as the arms come down as well. One more. Exhale, release the arms. Have them down beside you, or just have palms face forward. Find that Tadasana, mountain pose again, sitting up really straight. Lovely. Begin to raise the arms, palms face up, out to the side, and we'll hold it here. Turn your palms face forward. I don't know if you can see, I'm a bit wide for the screen, but my palm is face forward. And we're just going to open our chest a little here. So if this is too difficult for you, really stretching the arms out wide. Have the elbows bent a little in a gentler version of this. We're just going to hold this for a few breaths. So your shoulders, your arms will tire, but it's not forever. Open the chest, just look slightly up in front of you. Draw the tummy in to protect your lower back here. In the next couple of breaths, you might like to close down your eyes and just once again feel that sense of connectedness. You can almost imagine here as a community that we are reaching out towards each other. With our arms open, perhaps we could even imagine that we're making just one big circle here. Wherever you are in Edinburgh or in the country, whether you're practicing right here and now with us, or whether you are practicing through the week, reaching out to each other as a community, connected. Lovely. Exhale, bring your arms back to your lap. Feel that sense of release. If you need to take a couple of shoulder shrugs, really feel that release of tension now. Big breath in and a sigh out. Lovely. So we're coming back to the neck after that. Maybe a little bit of tension is built up in your jaw, your neck. Begin to take some slow, small circles in one direction. You can close down your eyes for this if you like, or just have a really soft, unfocused gaze. Make the circles quite small to begin with. Increase the size of them. And really feel into all those nooks and crannies of the neck. Lovely. Slow it down. When your chin is next to your chest, no rush to get here. Just leave it there for a moment. If you really like this stretch, you can clasp your hands, bring them just to the back of your head, and allow the natural weight of your arms to draw your neck into that deeper stretch. That's quite intense, so if that doesn't feel comfortable, release the hands into the lap. And then slowly bring the chin up and begin to circle back in the other direction. So again, moving slowly, you can connect your breath into this movement. Sitting up nice and straight. Reminding your shoulders not to join in, relaxing the shoulders, increasing the size of the circles, just really feeling into every part of the neck. Breathing in as the head comes up one side and out as it comes down the other side. Can you hear the birds, I wonder? They're really singing this morning. I have children playing next door as well outside. But it's just a beautiful sound of birdsong. I kind of hope you can hear it wherever you are. Lovely. Release that. Chin down at the chest. Take that more intense version if you like, that clasping the hands, drawing the neck into that deeper stretch, or just resting the hands in the lap. Lovely, and then slowly bringing the chin back up to center. Take a look in one direction, still sitting really up straight, shoulders relaxed. And then back to center, exhale, inhale, look to the other side. Really exploring the range of movement here. We'll do that once again on each side. Almost as if you're trying to look over your shoulder. Lovely, exhaling to come back to the center. Inhale, send arms wide and up, look up. Exhale, reaching forward, rounding down over the legs. Feel that release of tension in the back of the body. Couple of breaths here. And then walking the hands back up the legs. Onto sitting back up straight. Just for a moment, we're going to drop that right ear towards the right shoulder. So again, sitting up nice and straight, relax the shoulders. Right ear just comes down towards the right shoulder. Couple of breaths as you rest in this pose. So not straining the head down. If you really enjoy this stretch and you want a more intense stretch for that side of the neck, you can bring that right arm up and over the head. Just use the natural weight of your arm to draw your head down gently, so we're not pulling on the head. If that feels too intense, just release that arm into the lap again. And slowly, gently let that hand go. If you want to use that hand to lift your neck back up to center, do that. And then slowly release the head in the other direction. So left ear comes down towards left shoulder. It doesn't matter how far your head goes here, we're just going with our own bodies. We're just doing our best. Again, if you want that more intense stretch, you can bring that hand up. Don't be afraid to release it if you feel you've gone a bit too far, it's too intense for the neck. Come back to your slow, steady breath here. Know that you're not alone if you're doing this. I'm doing this with you at the very least. Perhaps lots of other people are too. Sitting, stretching our necks out together. Inhale, release that. Gently bring the head back up to center. Take a couple of shoulder shrugs, shoulders coming right up to the ears. Almost squeeze your neck into them as well. Release any tension. Lovely. Inhale, send the arms wide and up. One last time. Exhale, reaching forward from the hips and rounding down over the legs. Take one twist to either side from down here. So leaving the left hand wherever it is, either down on the ground or somewhere on your legs. Inhale as you stretch the right arm out to the side. Working maybe up behind you towards the ceiling. Take a couple of breaths here as you look towards that hand. If it's out to the side, just looking towards that hand. is up behind you, finding space in the body to twist. Draw the tummy in, abdominal muscles, giving you space, room to twist. Lovely. Hold this for one more breath. On your next exhale, release that hand down and we'll take that on the other side. So inhale, left arm this time comes out to the side or working up behind you. As you look up towards it, find that space in the center of the body. Stretch those left fingertips away from you. If they're out to the side, that's still fine, just stretching away from you. Trying to open up that left shoulder. One more breath. As you exhale, bring it back down to the center and then slowly walk the hands back up the legs. Bring both hands to the base of your spine, your lumbar spine here. Just give yourself a massage there around the hips and the lower spine. A little bit of self-care, a bit of massage, never did anybody any harm. Lovely. Release that. Take a stretch through the whole body. Send feet out wide, arms out overhead. You can lean back in the chair if you like or sit up straight and just take a really big stretch. Big breath in, and as you sigh that out, just come to rest back in your chair. Make yourself very comfortable as you can be in the chair that you're in. Relax your hands in your lap and let your feet just really connect to the ground wherever they are, feel most comfortable. If you need to take any other movement or adjustments to feel comfortable, then do that. Lift all your toes up and then place them back down on the ground, but just really relaxed. And then you might like to close down your eyes just for this final part of our practice, which is so important, our relaxation, our shavasana, our resting pose. So perhaps drop your chin ever so slightly towards your chest and maybe close down your eyes or have a really unfocused gaze down at the ground ahead of you. Hands resting in your lap and just completely relaxed. If you like to have your palms face up, then please do that. Feel free to just relax however feels most comfortable for you. And know that we're all sharing in this experience of having moved and now relaxing together, resting at the end of this practice. I'm going to just be quiet for a moment, a few moments, just to allow us really to rest in the peace of wherever we are. Let your breath be gentle as you enjoy a few moments of rest. if you are really enjoying this rest and you have all the time in the world, then please feel free to just continue resting. Just switch off your device and continue to take that rest that your body maybe needs. If you need to get back into your day, then maybe take a couple of slightly deeper breaths and begin to invite some gentle movement into the body. So just moving the fingers, making a fist and then stretching the fingers out, wiggling the toes, maybe lifting each foot from the ground, turning the head from side to side. And gradually building up to a full stretch again. Send arms out overhead, look up, turn the wrists. Take a couple of really deep breaths here. And then as you exhale, come back to sitting up straight just to finish this practice. You can finish with hands in the lap, keeping your eyes closed if you like to, or just slightly pressing palms together in front of you, in front of your heart. And let's just take a moment at the end of this practice to tune into that sense of connectedness with each other again as we've practiced here together, or even on catch-up, just as a community. Big breath in and a sigh out. From my heart to yours, with lots of love. Namaste. Thank you so much. I hope that you enjoyed that practice and you are able to take a little bit of that sense of connectedness and perhaps calm out into your week. I'll hang about for a couple of minutes if you like to just answer any questions if you have them from the practice today, or just say hello, goodbye. It's been really nice to spend time with you all. I hope that you're all well. And did you hear the bird song in that, I wonder? It's just been absolutely beautiful. The birds have been feeding, so I've been putting food out for them and they've been feeding, so I get this bird song all around me, which is really nice as I'm practicing. Thank you, Mary. Thanks everyone in the office too. Hope you have a good day and rest of the week, and I will see you all next week anyway, if you tune in again, or if you're joining this practice through the week. I hope that you have managed to find a sense of connectedness as well, even not being here. But Justina, it is lovely to have you practicing with me as well. So take care, everybody. I will answer comments after the class if you have any questions or anything. Oh, Pat, you couldn't hear my birds. Okay, that's a shame. Rest assured, they're lovely. Perhaps you have bird song where you are anyway. So, okay, take care, everybody. Lots of love. Bye-bye.